Welcome to Cinema Bites.
Es todopoderoso. Es el quien te lo ordena.
Your go-to for movie recaps in a flash. Big twists, epic moments, all in just minutes. But the story isn't over yet because this is just the beginning. So let me continue. Not long after all this, we finally move outside the building and find ourselves in a police car. We see a group of special forces named Matros and Lara, along with their leader and a fourth officer who is currently filming them, named Rosso. So where are the leader Matros, Rosso, and Lara going? Simply put, the four of them arrive at the building where Angela and everyone else were, the same building where our entire story started. They meet a man who tells them he's from the health department and that a doctor from their team entered the building a while ago, but they lost contact with him. He also tells them that another doctor named Owen will enter the building to collect blood samples so they can study the virus, and that the leader, Lara, Matros, and Rosso should go in with him and secure the area. Everyone agrees with the man's instructions, and they take the doctor named Owen and enter the building. Meanwhile, a man shows up and we learn he is Mari's husband. He asks to go in with them to check on Mary and Jennifer, but nobody takes him with them. The five of them enter the building, and as soon as they do, they find blood everywhere in the entrance and the handcuffs that Mari was tied with. But none of that matters to them now. Owen tells them they need to go up to the top floor of the building, the same floor where Angela and Pablo died when they encountered the strange-looking girl, whom we suspected might be the Portuguese girl. Anyway, they go up to that apartment and see the investigations that were done about the Portuguese girl and so on. Owen keeps telling them to film and record everything, since all of it will be important. And although everyone is surprised, they do as Owen says. After a while, they hear noises coming from another floor in the building. So they go to that floor and enter an apartment where they find a zombie in front of them. The zombie attacks Matros and turns him into a zombie in seconds. But then something even stranger happens. Matros can't do anything to anyone because Owen starts reciting spells and verses from the Bible. Because of what Owen does, Matros stops and doesn't harm anyone. So they lock Matros in a room, and Owen puts some kind of talisman in the room so Matros stays calm and doesn't think of hurting anyone else. What happened was really strange, and just like you, the leader Lara and Rosso are also surprised. They ask Owen what exactly he's doing. At this point, Owen tells them he needs to reveal the whole truth so they can understand everything just like he does. He starts telling them the following. First, he tells them he's not a doctor, nor is he from the health department or any of that nonsense. He tells them he's a priest from the Vatican, and that the whole story started when a girl, the Portuguese girl by the way, was possessed by a powerful demon who kills anyone in front of him without hesitation. The Portuguese girl went to the Vatican to be treated, and there they realized that her demonic possession was like a plague that could spread and infect others, turning them into zombies. Owen tells them that at the time, the Vatican decided to do something a bit strange. They sent a department called Beta to this specific building, along with the Portuguese girl, and with him is a group of children who were affected because of the same thing. You could say the Portuguese girl was also affected or infected by the same epidemic. The important thing is, the whole point of the story is that he needs to find a solution to all this and get rid of the demonic possession that is causing the epidemic. Supposedly, they brought Beta here specifically because the place is easy to control, and there's no way things could get out of hand in such a remote location. He also tells them that the key to stopping the possession and thus the epidemic is to take blood from the Portuguese girl and make an antidote from it. But Beta couldn't do that because the demon possessing the Portuguese girl got out of control, killed Beta, and then started spreading the possession throughout the whole building. Now, they've come here to take samples of the Portuguese girl's blood and make a cure from it. He also tells them clearly that he is the one in charge of the mission, and he'll tell them what to do and what not to do, and no one can leave unless Owen gives the order. By the way, Owen is always in contact with the forces outside the building through a wireless device. They identify him by his voice, and only his voice, and he must be the one to give the order for anyone to leave. If they try to leave on their own, the police outside will think they're infected with the possession or the epidemic and will kill them immediately. This means the commander Laura and Russo are now stuck with Owen and must get the Portuguese girl's blood, or they won't get out of here. The Portuguese girl is the same terrifying girl who killed Angela and Pablo, the ones we didn't even know who she was. As for the child who was in a secret place in Beta's house and attacked Pablo and Angela, he is one of the children who got infected with the possession or the epidemic, and Beta was trying to treat them. Now we know all the secrets from before. Anyway, everyone is thinking now and communicating communicating, certain that the Portuguese girl's blood sample must be in the secret place where Beta was experimenting on the children to cure them from the possession or epidemic. So everyone heads to the secret place above Beta's apartment to get the blood sample. But the problem is, as soon as they open the ceiling door, a corpse falls out. And yes, it's Beta's corpse. Then, a child who has turned into a zombie attacks them, but they quickly finish him off. After that, they go to the secret place and find many children locked in iron cages, all turned into zombies. They were all affected and got the epidemic, and Beta was trying to treat them. Anyway, they managed to get the Portuguese girl's blood sample, take it, and go to a safe place. Owen takes part of the blood sample and gives the rest to the commander. Owen then performs a ritual to check if this is really the Portuguese girl's blood, and when he does his ritual, the blood catches fire. That's when Owen knows this is the required blood, and he's happy they got it and can leave. But his happiness doesn't last, because the blood sample with the commander burns up. What a loss. They had a sample, and it's gone. Owen gets very angry and tells them they'll search again until they find a new blood sample from the Portuguese girl. The problem is, as they're leaving to search, suddenly a zombie appears in front of them. And not just any zombie, it's Mary's husband, the one I told you wanted to enter the building to check on his wife and daughter. Now we know how he got in. Anyway, they kill him, and at that moment, they spot 4 people in the building. 2 young men, a girl, and a firefighter named Jose. Of course, their presence here is forbidden, so they run from the commander and his group. We'll later find out how these 4 got into the building. After a while, something totally unexpected happens. A lot of zombies come at everyone, so they hide. The commander, Owen, and Russo hide in one place, and Laura hides somewhere else. But the problem is, the apartment Laura is in is full of zombies. Laura keeps hiding from them, but finds no escape, realizes he's doomed, pulls out his gun, shoots himself, and ends his suffering before the zombies get him. On the other side, we see the commander, Owen, and Russo enter an apartment to hide. Suddenly, the girl Jennifer appears, but the commander manages to restrain her. Owen comes to her and tells her he knows the demon spreading the epidemic has possessed her, and asks her where it is. But the demon has a strong hold on Jennifer, so she can't say anything, and tries to attack everyone until they're forced to kill her. For now, they are safe. Now something stranger than fiction happens. They see that Matros' camera, who is already dead, turns on, and 3 young people appear on it. These are the same young people they saw earlier in the building. Now comes the important question. How did these 3 get into the building, and what are they doing here? To answer this, we go back in time just a little, about an hour, not more. In a building across from ours, we see 3 young people, a boy named Yuri, his sister Mary, and their friend Tito. Tito has a camera and is filming Mary and Yuri, who are playing with a doll, trying to blow it up with fireworks and send it flying off the building they're on. But their game fails, and the doll doesn't fly anywhere. In the middle of all this, the officers come and tell them they have to get off the building. These officers were supposed to be snipers on the rooftops to shoot anyone who came out of the main building, the one with the epidemic. Tito, Mary, and Yuri actually get down from the building and end up right in front of our main building. They see the police officers, Russo, Laura, Matros, the commander, and Owen, entering the building, since at that time they were just going in. As I said, we're looking at the past now. Tito, Mary, and Yuri don't understand what's happening, but at the same time, they see Mary's husband talking to a firefighter named Jose. They agree to enter the building through the sewer, since Jose wants to see his friends Alex and Manu, and Mary's husband wants to reach Mary and Jennifer. So, Yuri, Tito, and Mary figure out how to enter the building and go through the sewer. As soon as they enter, they find themselves in the weaving workshop, and they find a gun like that. There were different kinds of people here, so Tito takes this gun and accidentally fires a shot, and at the sound of the shot, Jose and Mary's husband, who have just entered the building, come in. Jose sees them and scolds them for coming here when they're just kids and tells them they have to leave, so he takes them to the door that will take them back to the drain to get out. But they find that the door is now closed because the police have locked the place too, so no one can enter or leave. Of course, everyone is shocked. And now Jose tells Mary, Yuri, and Tito that they have to stay with him here so nothing bad happens to any of them. He takes them all, including Mary's husband, to look for Mary and Jennifer. They go up to Mary's apartment and find Mary there, but she attacks her husband and bites him. During all this, they struggle with her until they manage to light some fireworks and hit her with them, so she leaves the area. But now they see that Mary's husband has been bitten and is about to turn, so they leave him and move on. They enter another apartment to escape, but when they approach the windows, the police suddenly fire at them, so they hide and leave the apartment. On their way, they stand on the stairs and see the commander Owen and Russo by chance, as we saw before. They fear being shot at, so they hide from them too. Then they enter the apartment where Matros was, and at that moment, they find the helmet with Matros' camera, so they keep it. Commander Owen and Russo manage to see them through Matros' camera, but that's not the important part now. The important thing is that everyone is currently in the apartment where Matros is locked up by Owen's spell, as we mentioned before. Also, everyone hears Matros' voice behind the room where he's locked up, so they think he needs help and open the door. Suddenly, Matros attacks them like a madman and manages to grab Kuzai and keeps biting him. At that moment, Mary grabs the gun and tries to shoot Matros, but accidentally shoots Kuzai and kills him. Then Matros attacks her, but she kills him too. Finally, Commander Owen and Russo arrive. Of course, they start yelling at them for everything they've done from the beginning. But before anything else happens, they all see that Yuri has been bitten and will turn into a zombie. So they restrain him and tie him up. Before anyone does anything else, they all suddenly see something in front of them they never expected because they find Angela in front of them. And we learn here that she didn't die. Or maybe she did, but the truth is we don't know how that happened yet. As usual, everything will become clear later. Anyway, Angela introduces herself and says she is the only survivor in the building, so they all decide to keep her with them for safety. Then Owen comes in and interrogates Yuri because he knows that the devil causing all of this is inside his body. Owen asks where the Portuguese girl is, but Yuri doesn't answer. Instead, Angela replies and tells them she's in the next apartment. They all listen to her and say they're going to go to the next apartment to catch the Portuguese girl and take a blood sample from her, which they need. Indeed, they go back to the next apartment and keep searching here and there for the Portuguese girl until suddenly they reach a water basin, and suddenly the Portuguese girl appears and grabs the commander, and the commander dies. Afterwards, the Portuguese girl disappears, but everyone keeps looking for her until she comes to them. At that moment, Owen tries to restrain her and take a blood sample, but Angela shoots her and finishes her off. Afterwards, Angela tells Owen to get them out of there, but Owen refuses and tells her she killed the Portuguese girl, and now he needs to know who exactly the devil is inside to take a blood sample. Otherwise, if the devil is inside someone and they don't know who it is, he can easily spread the plague again. At that moment, Angela loses control and kills Russo, then fights Owen and tells him he has to report outside so they can get out of that place, but Owen refuses. Angela laughs maniacally and tells him she's not Angela and that she can get out of there even without his help. Here we understand that the devil spreading the plague entered Angela's body, which explains how she's still alive even though we saw her die. The important thing now is that Angela kills Owen, takes his wire, and speaks to the police in Owen's voice, asking them to secure anyone leaving the building, which means the story isn't over yet. But we'll see in the summary of the second part how this devil will get out into the world. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.